Welcome everybody to today's video. Today we are in Orem, Utah. I am Chris the Shriner Dog and this is
Shrine Family Videos.
We're here at the University Mall to do a quick little video. We're going to meet a few people here of Hollywood fame. So join us. Come on. We came in right here by the RCOE and we are here. We're going to go to the store next to the Teton Toys called the Nerd Store. So here's the Teton Toys. And literally, we're going right next door to the Nerd Store. Alright, so now as you can see, we have entered the Nerd Store. Honestly, this is actually one of my most favorite stores in the entire world to go visit. It's a little bit pricey to get a couple things, but generally, this is where I actually generally come to get a lot of my comic books that I collect. I mostly collect like Wolverine comics. And every once in a while I'll get like an X-Men or I'll get Deadpool comics. And every once in a while I'll get some Magic the Gathering comics. I didn't even know that there was a Space Ghost comic book until that moment actually. Anyways, I was here about a half hour before the crew or the cast of the Sandlot came. This is where they're eventually going to sign up or sit down to sign autographs and everything. But I tell you what, not only was I geeking out and nerding out over all the comics that were here, and also all the D&D and the Magic the Gathering stuff, I was geeking out over the fact that I finally got to see, I was finally going to get ready to see live and in person the cast of one of my all-time favorite movies in the entire world, from The Sandlot. I grew up watching that movie. I was about 10 years old when that movie first came out. My dad was stationed in Germany, so we were living there in Germany. And I remember seeing that movie at least a couple of times in theater. In the one theater that we had, there was a 2-screen theater that was there. And once it came out, we probably saw the movie at least twice, which at the time was a lot of time. It was a lot seeing that movie in the theaters. I was actually there with my kids. My wife was at work, so I had the kids with me. And I was not originally, well, I wanted to come to here, but I wasn't really originally planning on, if that made any sense. I wasn't planning on coming here originally, is what I'm trying to say. And I was hoping that if I got lucky, I was going to get this hat coming up here in just a second. I wanted to get my Seattle Mariners baseball hat signed because I'm a huge Seattle Mariners fan. I basically grew up in Germany after my dad retired from the military. I grew up in the Seattle area. I was about 11 years old when I first got there, and I grew up going to Seattle Mariners baseball games. And I was telling some of the cast members eventually, so I eventually got to meet them. You'll see that later on in the video. I was telling some of the cast members that in the cul-de-sac that we lived in Federal Way, Washington, we used to play baseball very similarly to how they played the game in the cul-de-sac or in the movie. It was just a few of us in our cul-de-sac. There was like 6 or 7 of us that would play. You know, we split up 3-on-3 or however, and then we would play with tennis balls because we lived. You know, like I said, we played baseball in the cul-de-sac, and we would use tennis balls so that way we would not break the windows or anything like that. Go ahead and tell me what you got around here too.
So I've got the signature, Squints' great-great-grandfather, who's famous for the Forever line. And then I've got the secret weapon. This is the director's signature. And then he also signed the box saying "You're killing me, Dorito," which is my last name. So play on "You're killing me, Smalls."
Nice, awesome. Thanks for showing that to me.
Of course, man.
Got my Seattle Mariners. I'm a big, huge Seattle Mariners fan. A huge Ken Griffey fan. Awesome, I love them. I wanted to see if I could get you guys to sign my hat. Okay. Because Sandlot, obviously, Seattle, home team, got to root for them. And it was nice to meet you.
You too.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
I'm Chris.
Chris Brand.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I saw the cast come out, I geeked out. I guess you can say I fanboyed out, and then they finally started signing my hat, and I was in baseball fan heaven. I was so thrilled. And Grant and I, we had a little bit of a conversation for a couple of minutes right there. He played Bertram, and he is like one of the most laid back, easygoing guys you would ever talk to. And same thing with Brandon, who was actually the pitcher for the team. I'm so happy I got this. I've been a fan of the Sandlot for the longest time. I know I didn't get much film of the cast, but I was kind of in a hurry. I had my kids here with me. I wanted to make sure that they were safe, but I am so happy I still got it signed. I know it's a Seattle Mariners hat, and the Sandlot really had nothing to do with Seattle, but I wanted to get it signed because I'm from Seattle. I'm a huge Mariners fan, so I'm so happy that they signed this. So I intentionally left in a couple audio clips from the actual audio footage, and I am repurposing some of my video that I filmed while I was there, as you can obviously tell, because I was fanboying out. I was just too like, oh man, the Sandlot's here, the Sandlot cast here, it's so cool to just finally meet them. I just didn't think much about filming after I started talking to some of them. And like I said, Brandon the Heater, the guy who played the pitcher on for the team on the Sandlot, he was like one of the most chill guys. He was sitting there, he was asking me like, he was asking me like, so you're a Seattle Mariners fan, but you live here in Utah. Why do you want me to sign like a Seattle Mariners hat? I was like, I told him, well, like I said, I grew up in the Seattle area. I wanted to be able to get something that I own, one of my personal pieces of property signed by you guys, the cast, because I love baseball. I grew up watching baseball. I grew up during the Ken Griffey Jr. era. I wanted to get something that I personally owned signed by the cast of the Sandlot. And now, not everybody was there. The actor who played Benny the Jet Rodriguez, he was not there for the event. From what I heard, he does not do signings. And also, Wendy Peppercorn, that actress was not there. And also, Patrick Grenna, who plays the catcher, Ham. I think he had like other obligations that he had to attend to, so he wasn't able to make it to this event. But in the future, if the cast of the Sandlot ever comes up to Salt Lake City ever again, I'm going to take that same hat, and I'm going to try to get them to sign that as much of the cast as I possibly can sign it. Karen Allen and Dennis Leary would be a little bit more difficult to get signed because I know Dennis Leary and Karen Allen played Small's parents. Karen Allen, everybody knows her from the Indiana Jones franchise, and everybody knows who Dennis Leary is. My kids know him as the voice of what's his name? Sid from the Ice Age movies. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get their autographs. And obviously it's going to be difficult to get the autograph of James Earl Jones because by the recording of this, he had already passed on. So rest in peace, Mr. Jones, Darth Vader, Mr. Myrtle, whoever you see him as. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was such a blast to meet the cast. First time I actually ever done a signing like this. And I had so much fun. Anyways, don't forget to check out the links down below. Hit that notification bell. Hit the subscribe button. And then you hit the notification bell to get notified every single time I hit or post a new video. Don't forget to like the video as well. Comment down below. What kind of memories do you have as a child of the 80s and or 90s or any time after that of playing baseball? I want to hear what your experience is. I want to hear your story. Add them down below in the comment box and let's have a fun conversation going on down below. Who's your favorite baseball team? Why do you root for that team?
Hey everybody watching has to subscribe. Subscribing is cool. Thanks.